Blender Babe Tarshan, and I'm here to tell you all about the Blender Babe's Juice Detox so you can experience its many benefits. A juice cleanse does require preparation, and today I have Mike Egeman and Diana Aves here with me, and we're gonna go over exactly why and how you should do our juice detox.
Okay, so I've actually heard about different detoxes. Why would I do a Blender Babe juice detox over anything else I maybe found on the internet?
Well, a Blender Babe's Juice Detox is a whole blended juice. So it consists of 6 juices throughout the day that are made in a high-powered or a regular blender. Okay, so it keeps all of the fiber and all the nutrition that's found in the skin and the seeds. So you're gonna feel a lot fuller longer. It's not a starvation diet. It's not a master cleanse. It's also not a juice extracted diet where you're using a ton of produce in a juicer and getting a small amount of juice and then feeling hungry throughout the day. Have either of you tried a juice detox before? Or?
I have not, actually, no.
Okay.
I have. It didn't really work. And it didn't last. Basically, I was spending a ton of money on fruits and vegetables. I had about 4 ounces of sugar water, and then I got so mad because every day I was throwing away just like a pile of pulp. And I felt like I was throwing money away. Plus cleanup was a really hassle.
With the juicer?
Yeah. It was like scrubbing involved and like 4 different parts to take apart. And then I would last about 4 days and then I'd give up. Or I would just starve all day.
Yeah. 4 days though, I mean, that's pretty good. That's impressive. I can't even do 4 days.
Yeah, I know. I had the same experience with a juicer. I've never done a detox, but I had a juicer before. And that was the one main reason why I didn't continue doing it. It wasn't something I could do on a daily basis because I felt like it was a good 45-minute commitment by the time I got all these groceries out. Same thing, I got this little cup of juice, which was great, and I did feel the benefits of the juice. I felt healthier. But really the cleanup. It was the wasted product that I was just throwing away, and then the cleanup itself. I mean, I'm kind of on the go. I'm a really busy person, so it's very difficult to find that 20 minutes to clean this thing every single day.
Right, so the whole process to just make one juice was 45 minutes of your day.
Right,
Got it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's a long time. Like you could probably make all 6 of the Blender Babe's juice detoxes in the morning. It would probably take you half an hour. And then you would just stick them in like mason jars or a glass jar and take them with you to work. So,
awesome.
You know, you could do it on a work day, which is great. You know, I try to schedule our group detoxes on the weekend just because I feel like that's a little easier. People have a little bit more time. But, you know, you can be committed and do the full 5 days on a weekend or a weekday. Oops.
And is that an ingredient that you would put into the detox?
Of course, we love berries. Berries are very high in antioxidants.
They're very good.
They're very good. Our blended whole food juice detox consists of 6 amazing juices that took months of research, testing, and tasting to narrow down to the final recipes. What we came up with is a combination of ingredients that are typically easy to find no matter what time of the year or where you live, and they're actually super detoxing. They taste great. Our detox can be for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, all the way up to 5 days. You choose what's best for you, your schedule, and your lifestyle. We recommend if you do more than 3 days to make sure and consult with a doctor beforehand, especially if you have a pre-existing condition like diabetes. What are some of the major things that you can do to prepare for a detox?
For me, it's just the mental commitment. It's right off the bat, you have to decide that it's something that's important to you. So what are the motivations? Like for me, it's, you know, looking at the past year, I'm saying, okay, now is the time for a transition. I'd really like to move forward with a clean slate. I want to get healthy, I want to lose weight, I want to have more energy. You know, all the things that most people set their New Year's resolutions on, it's something that's very important for me. And it all starts with the mind. I have to commit to it and know in my head I'm going to do it, and that's the only thing that's going to give me the chance of success and ensure that I succeed.
Awesome. What about you,
I
Dana?
would say probably stop eating fast food.
It's a good start.
Actually, you know, concentrate on what you're putting into your body.
Right.
You know, start drinking green juices, kind of like stretching before you go to the gym. So how do you do the Blender Babe's Juice Detox?
Well, what's really important with any detox, but you want to prepare your body. So that means, you know, you want to start eliminating foods from your diet. You don't want to just start drinking juices every day, you know, having a big cheeseburger and fries last supper, and then the next day start drinking juices, because your body's going to feel it. You know, you're not going to be happy by the end of that day. So you want to prepare for it by eliminating foods like wheat and gluten, caffeine, alcohol, artificial flavors, sweeteners, processed foods, nothing from a box. You know, you want to make everything fresh. But you want to prepare your body so that you don't shock it. Okay, so you several days leading up to the juice detox, you're going to be eliminating certain foods and also starting to increase your consumption of fruits and vegetables. Okay, then when you do the juice detox for 1 day or 2 or 3 or up to 5 days, you have 6 juices throughout the day. The calories are 1,786 calories for the whole 6 juices, and they're full of fiber, so you're not gonna feel starving. Like, this is not a starvation diet. You're getting a lot of nutrition, and we even allow 1 meal at the end of the day of fruits or vegetables. So for someone like you, you might want some more calories so that you feel like, you know, you're satiated. Okay. We don't want you to be starving. And then when you're done with your juice detox, you start to slowly introduce foods again. So again, like the way that you prepare, you kind of just do the opposite. So, you know, a couple days after, you might start having some unsweetened yogurt and some dairy. Then you might add fish the next day, and then the next day you might again add red meat. And what we want you to do is really be aware of how your body feels as you start introducing these new foods. It's gonna really help you just be more connected to your body. Like when you eat something new that you haven't been eating in a while, you don't feel good, you know, whether it's gluten or, you know, even dairy, you're gonna really feel it because you haven't had it for a week. Right. You know, so you might just understand more that you're sensitive to those types of things, and it might, you know, encourage you to limit those kinds of foods because, you know, it doesn't make your body feel that good.
So if I don't think I'm gonna make it the full 5 days, I can do maybe 2 days and then...
Yeah, I would say that most people start with 1 day. Okay, start with 1 day. Everybody can do 1 day, right? We've done all this preparing for 5 days, so get through the 1 day, and then the next day, see how you feel in the morning. If you don't feel up to it, then you could do like a couple green smoothies that day and have a big meal and a couple snacks, you know. Slowly, again, you're gonna ease out of it as you start to introduce more foods to your body. But, you know, I usually do like 2 or 3. Like most, I don't usually do 5 days. So
it's kind of like stretching before you go to the gym.
Exactly. Yes, you definitely need to stretch before and after, especially as we're getting older, right? You know, stretching is important. Preparing is important. Easing out is really important. It's not a, hi, I'm going to jump into this juice detox and juice all day and then that's it. Your body's not going to detox that way. You're just going to be eating a lot of fruits and vegetables for the day. You know? A detox can be a drastic change for your body, and if you're not prepared, you're more likely to experience symptoms like headaches and cravings, even nausea and other flu-like symptoms. You and everyone else are definitely going to be using the bathroom more. You know, we are drinking a lot of liquids and improving our elimination system. So in terms of like your skin, you know, it depends on how much of a toxic load you're getting rid of, but you know, it's okay to have a pimple or two. You know, your skin, your lymph nodes, your liver, your intestines, everything's pushing toxins out of your body. So in terms of mood, you know, I felt really full and satiated throughout the day when I was drinking only whole blended juices. But unlike juices from an extractor where I was feeling hungry and irritable. I feel that the more filling qualities of all the fiber is going to really help combat those hunger symptoms and withdrawal symptoms, especially when you're eliminating all those foods from your diet. But what's important to note is this will pass. Okay, just keep with it. You may decide to do only 1 day of the cleanse, and then just slowly start introducing foods back into your diet.
All right, so I recognize some of the things like strawberries and raspberries, lemons, but what are some of these other ingredients here? Like, for example, am I going to be putting a pepper into my juice every day?
That's a great question, Mike. I mean, we're going to be using all of these ingredients in our juices, just so you know, okay? But there's a lot more. Well, jalapeno and cayenne pepper both have high concentrations of capsaicin, which is great for clearing digestion in your sinuses and your lungs. It reduces inflammation, it relieves pain. It also naturally increases your metabolism, so you'll lose weight. And we made 2 great recipes where these powerful ingredients are very well masked by the flavors of the other ingredients, so don't be scared. Okay. It's not too hot.
Now, why do you have 2 different kinds of beets? Are you using the packaged ones or
I mean, you can use raw beets. Every time I use raw beets for a juice that's not from an extractor and in a blended whole juice, it kind of tastes a little like dirt. I like to use cooked beets. I usually steam them. You can roast them. These are already cooked beets that I usually get from the grocery store. It cuts down time, you know, anything that's
and those
easier.
actually taste better too.
I really like these. I use them in a lot of my juices as well as like my salads and things like that. So, and beets are a really powerful blood cleanser. Like these, a lot of detoxing recipes have beets in it, but I've tried so many where they usually add it for sweetness and it doesn't really taste amazing to me. But the one that I made with this and some other great ingredients here, which we're gonna show you later, is probably my favorite juice of the 6 recipes.
What about this one? Is that, I think I've seen that before in the grocery store, but I always pass it by.
This is fresh ginger. You can also use ground ginger. Again, it's whatever's available to you. Definitely trying to buy organic if you can. Okay. But ginger does wonders for your digestive system. It completely detoxifies your gastrointestinal tract in many ways, and you'll almost always notice that a lot of detox recipes, again, also have ginger.
Is this ginger too?
No, that's turmeric. You can usually find it at like a natural health food store or a farmer's market. I like fresh turmeric, but again, it's typically harder to find than organic ground turmeric, which you can buy on Amazon or your grocery store. But turmeric is another detoxifying spice that cleans out the liver. It's been shown to prevent cancer and slow its growth. Okay, and it's actually the Chinese medicine used it to treat depression. So it's a natural painkiller and anti-inflammatory. You know, it's really been helpful for people with autoimmune disorders and inflammatory issues, especially those that have like chronic joint pain. So it's really great for people with arthritis.
And what is this bottle here? I haven't seen it.
This is liquid stevia. It's a natural sweetener, 0-calorie sweetener.
Oh, okay.
So you don't want to be using things like Splenda, like any artificial sweeteners you're completely cutting from your diet.
So that's part of the flavor to help overcome some of these like peppers and different.
It's very powerful and very strong, but it
Okay.
is natural. So we also use dates in one of our juices, which is, you know, it's full of fiber. It's really helpful for detoxing as well, but it's a natural sweetener. So I usually recommend dates, raw honey, or stevia.
Agave?
I don't recommend agave. It has been proven to have the same effect on your body as high fructose corn syrup. It's very high in fructose.
Oh, wow.
So I don't recommend agave. You can do more research on that, or we'll find another poster article at blenderbabes.com. But okay, so we're actually going to show you how to make one of the juices in Blender Babes' free juice detox. It's called I Am Berry Clean. It's the second juice of the day. It's your mid-morning juice. And we're going to make it with our Blend Tech here, which is a high-powered commercial blender. But we're also going to make it with an Oster. So an Oster is just a regular blender. You know, people that have regular blenders, you can definitely do the juice detox. Okay, it might not be as smooth, but it's still doable. Okay, so we're going to start with some coconut water, and you're gonna do 1.5 cups.
Okay.
Okay, 6 ounces of coconut water. You can use regular water too, but the coconut water is gonna give you added electrolytes. It also gives it a little bit of a sweeter flavor. Okay, and then we're also going to do our blood cleansing beet. So you're gonna do 1 beet.
Okay.
There you go, perfect. And then we're going to do berries. Berries are really high in antioxidants. I do raspberries and strawberries, but you guys can do blueberries, blackberries, you know, whatever you guys have, whatever's in season. Okay, so you're gonna do 1/2 cup. And then you're gonna do 1/2 cup of strawberries. And you can leave the greens on your strawberries if you wash them really well and get the pesticides off. There's actually chlorophyll in the greens of the strawberries, so you can eat them, or you can just cut it off, whatever's easier. There you go. And last, we're going to add, 1/2 cup. 1/2 cup of each of 2 different berries. Okay, so we're gonna add a little bit of cayenne pepper now. Again, you're gonna do 1/8 of a teaspoon.
Okay, so just
Not
a
very much,
little
just
dash.
a dash.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel
And
like
then-
do I need a little more coconut
Coconut
water?
oil. Did you start with 1.5 cups?
I did.
I think you're good. You got a Blend Tech.
Right.
Yeah, thing's gonna power through it. Okay, it's also gonna power through the ice too. So just about maybe like a cup of ice. You can keep it nice and cold. Okay, I'm just gonna do a little bit more. Okay, All right, so with your Oster, you're probably gonna wanna start it on low, and then you're gonna take it up to high, so that's gonna help liquefy it. If you have greens in there, you'll wanna do the greens first on low and get that going before you add other ingredients, as with a regular blender.
All right, so go ahead and get started.
Okay, and then real quickly though, and then you are actually going to press the soup button. And the reason that we press the soup button with the Blendtec, and we run it for a minute and a half, and that's how long the soup setting is. And we add lots of ice, which is gonna keep it from heating it like this, like a normal soup would in a Blendtec. If you have a vita-mix or another high-powered blender, you're gonna wanna run it for about a minute and a half. And that's gonna really pulverize and liquefy all of the fruits and vegetables in there and make it more of a juice versus a smoothie. Okay.
I'm excited. I can't wait to try this.
Yum. So usually with a regular blender, it is going to be more of a smoothie consistency. It's not a true like juice consistency, but again, it's definitely still doable. You can do this juice detox with a regular blender. Oh, I like that.
Almost looks like a margarita. Since I'm cutting out alcohol, I can have a substitute. Cheers. Yeah, no, that's good.
That's
I don't
really
taste
good.
the pepper at all, so.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. I taste the beets and the berries.
I've had a lot of detoxing recipes.
Oh, I could
Again,
drink that
I
for sure.
tested for months. We tested for months, different recipes, different ingredients, and you know,
That's
cayenne
so
is
good.
so good for you and so detoxing, but it was really, really hard for me to find a juice that had cayenne in it that tasted good. So this one's actually, like I said, it's my favorite juice of the 6. I actually make it all the time, not just in our juice when I'm
Now,
doing
would
the
I
detox.
drink that all day?
Well, you're gonna have about 16 ounces to 22 ounces considered one serving.
I could totally drink this all day. It's so
This,
good.
but that's just one of the juices. You actually have 6 juices. So, but you can make that all the time at home. You don't have to, you know, have it just for the juice detox. If you really like it, you should. Can start your day that way. Good.
Yeah.
Glad you
Yeah,
guys
it's
like
delicious.
it.
That's awesome.
Now you
Love
get to
it.
try the other 5
Yeah.
starting on our next group detox.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to just kind of, you know, getting a clean bill of health and starting out right in the next year, so.
Good. I'm really excited for you guys to try it. We are going to be doing it as a group on Facebook. We host free green smoothie challenges and juice detoxes throughout the year. So when you grab a friend and do it with your family, you know that there's a support group. Kind of helps keep you accountable. It gets people excited about it. Like you have a group to do it with. So if you do it on your own, a lot of times the success rate is not as high.
Okay, yeah, I was planning on eating healthy, but it's kind of nice learning about the detox to kind of, it's, you know, if it's only 5 days, it's, you know, it's very doable and it's something
It
I
could
can
be one
accomplish,
day
so.
too. You know, it's whatever is best for you and your body. So just check out the Blender Babes Juice Detox on blenderbabes.com. It's free to join. You'll receive shopping lists, a loud foods list. You'll get access to our private group and all the information you need to get started. So remember, it is free. And if you're not ready to try a Juice Detox too, we have a 21-day green smoothie challenge. So you can sign up for that, do it on your own schedule. Again, you can do it with group support from Blender Babes. We do host free challenges throughout the year. So, you know, let us know what you think, or if you have any recommendations or questions, let us know in the comments. Shoot us an email. We'll get back to you as soon as you can. Again, I'm Blender Babe Tarshan, and we will see you next time.